We've just spent the last 2 days laying our ground cover and drip irrigation lines. Now, we utilized the ground cover because our weed pressure was crazy high. We've lost entire gardens before. So when we were researching, trying to cover, it's over 1/3 of an acre of garden with mulch is not really cost effective. So we went with the woven black ground cover that you see in a lot of commercial ag operations. The great part about this is we don't have to spray. We literally lay it out, do all the work up front, we go ahead and plant, and we might weed once or twice. You know, and that's
maybe
all.
3 times, a little bit.
Well, yes, it's less time. We can grow more because there's less time that we have to put into it once it's Ours is kind of patched together because we've grown over time and added more. So when you first lay it down, you have to burn your holes in the tarp to plant your plants. So now this is our 3rd year with this, most of this ground cover. We have to measure off, and we actually lay lines of baling twine top to bottom, strings of baling twine, and
measured off
to where the spacing for the holes in the cloth. Then we staple the cloth down. Now you want to do that on a day that's not too windy, because if not, you'll go for a ride with it.
You have?
I have.
Been up here.
And then once we get it laid down like this and stapled down, we will tie the ends of the baling twine to our irrigation tubing. And yes, the blue orchard irrigation tubing, which we also reuse from year to year. And we will pull it through, make sure their end caps are on, and we'll connect that to our main line, so we'll have our irrigation.
How do you work with it? Baling twine. So we get a ballpark spacing measured out, and we put the baling twine through. As you can see, there's extra pieces of baling twine here, right here. And then what we do with it, we take it down through and we put a staple down at the end and keep it kind of about the same spacing. At the end, we measure it off for the tarp. And then on that end, we pull off of the reel and pull that down through. It's really that simple. You want to keep the blue end up. So you can see we're pulling it down through, and it just pulls it right along, and you can reach in if you need to and get it in line to the hole pretty easily.
Now, some benefits of using the irrigation tubing versus just watering. The cloth keeps the moisture in. The irrigation goes right to the base of the plant. You're not losing it on all the leaves. Some plants like to be watered from the bottom, like tomatoes don't really love their foliage being wet. So this is great for them. We can control how much water they are getting. So if it's a rainy week, we just turn it off. We have timers on it, so it goes automatically. And it's nice because this stuff, it's a woven cloth, so water will pass through it just fine. Once you put your spacing in, you're stuck with it. So, you know, the Jess and Aaron of 3 years ago just, put holes in.
Or 4, yeah.
And it's not always where we want to be. There's some things I'd like spaced differently. There's some things that we have an extra row here or there that doesn't make sense. The big con is the time it takes.
It is a boatload of time.
We had an evening and 2 days in getting to this point. But now you have to look at, okay, so now it's going to be a quick, hey, we're going to weed this row today. We don't spray. So it's a toss-up. Do I want to grow in these tarps forever? No, I don't. I'd love to get to the point where we are growing in mulch or something, but that takes time to build up. So check back, see what's growing in the garden this summer, and follow along for our adventure.
See you next time
On the farm.